So what are the 5 most common dental malpractice claims? Hi, my name is Charles Bust, and today we're going to be talking about dental malpractice cases. Specifically, we're going to dive into the most common types of dental malpractice claims. Let's start out by talking about inferior alveolar nerve injury cases. The inferior alveolar nerve runs right through the middle of the lower jaw. Thus, these cases involve a procedure on the lower tooth. Damage to this nerve will often result in numbness or other odd sensations in those areas around the lower lip, the chin, the jaw, and the gums. Now let's talk about ways people can suffer one of these nerve injuries. The inferior alveolar nerve can be damaged during a root canal procedure when too much material is forced into the tooth, and this is called an overfill. Additionally, inferior alveolar nerve damage can occur as a result of a root canal when the root canal file is pushed through the apex of the root and into the inferior alveolar nerve canal. Sometimes, in the worst cases, the file will break off and the dentist will leave it extending into that nerve canal. Another way a dentist can damage the inferior alveolar nerve is during dental implant placement. Now, if a dental implant is placed through the inferior alveolar nerve, it can obviously sever the nerve. Additionally, if an implant is placed too close to the inferior alveolar nerve canal, it can crush the canal and cause nerve damage that way. A dentist may also damage the inferior alveolar nerve during an extraction. Now, sometimes the root of the tooth can be very, very close to the inferior alveolar nerve canal, or even wrapped around the inferior alveolar nerve, kind of like a fish hook. Then, when the tooth is extracted, it can damage the nerve. Now, let's talk about failure to diagnose cancer cases. Sometimes a patient will have to go to the dentist for a routine checkup or to have a procedure performed. And when the dentist takes x-rays, there may be growth or an issue that the dentist should notice and make sure the patient gets it checked out so that if it's cancer, it can be treated. However, the dentist may ignore that issue, and the patient is left with untreated cancer. And as a result, the cancer grows and causes much more damage than it would have if the dentist had properly sent the patient to get the cancer checked out immediately. Next, let's talk about botched root canal procedures. There are several common ways that a root canal can go wrong, and we've already talked about overfill and nerve damage. However, a dentist may also perforate a patient's tooth, which simply means that the dentist drills a hole through the side of the tooth while doing a root canal. And sometimes, the dentist will go on to push sealant and gutta percha into that perforation and into the patient's surrounding tissues and even bone sometimes. This is not only extremely painful, but it will often cause the patient to lose that healthy tooth. Let's talk about cases involving a procedure on the wrong tooth. Now, it may sound crazy, but one of the most common types of cases in dental malpractice is where a dentist performs a procedure on the wrong tooth or extracts the wrong tooth. Some of the more common mistakes involve a dentist or oral surgeon extracting the wrong tooth, like I mentioned. However, other common procedures like crowns and root canals are often performed on the wrong tooth. Additionally, dentists will sometimes perform surgical procedures like apicoectomies on the wrong tooth as well. And these types of cases are fairly straightforward. After all, when a dentist performs a procedure on the wrong tooth, there's not a lot to argue about. Finally, let's talk about cases involving damage to the lingual nerve. The lingual nerve supplies feeling to the tongue and the floor of the mouth, and this nerve can be injured during a number of dental procedures. For example, during a wisdom tooth extraction, a dentist may fracture the patient's lingual cortical plate, which can cause damage to the lingual nerve. Other times, a patient may suffer lingual nerve damage as a result of an injection of anesthetic. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you or a loved one has suffered damage as a result of dental malpractice, please don't hesitate to give us a call. We have at least one attorney licensed in Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina, and we're happy to help you however we can. Also, we offer free legal consultations, and so a phone call is no risk to you. You can reach out to us at the number below in the video description, or you can find us at www.carelessdentist.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.